As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Play a full 60 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it simple.
Get pucks deep, bring the puck deep, put pucks in deep. We got to keep it simple and just get pucks going forward.
Getting into the forecheck.
We got to keep playing aggressive.
Trying to take away their time and space.
We're focused on tonight. We just got to stick to our game.
Fresh off the rivalry series and the jersey back hanging on the wall behind me, Haley Winn, the defender from Team USA and captain of my franchise on the Clarkson Golden Knights. Haley, what's going on?
Not much. Thanks for having me.
Throw you a softball to kick it off. You're out visiting the local dining in Potsdam, New York at Park Bros. Tell us some of your favorite spots to go to for anybody who's going to be coming up once you guys make it to the national tournament.
Oh man. I think Park Rose is a must. Really good bagels, but come anytime. We definitely like Jake's for dinner. A little Old Market for crepes. There are a lot of good places in the small town.
At 21 years old, you're coming off your third rivalry series, which was played last week with the USA hockey team. You also have a pair of world championships under your belt already, including the 2023 gold medal. Talk about the learning curves and the level of comfort that you've now built over 3 years as your young international career continues to develop.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been awesome. It's been something I've dreamt of, obviously, ever since I started skating. So, that part has just been a dream come true. But like you said, it's been a lot of learning, a lot of different experiences, but it's super cool. Every time I go, I kind of get to learn more and experience more, have a little more confidence, which is always nice. Like you said, this was my third rivalry series, so it was a little better. You just feel more confident with the girls, more confident with the coaching staffs. And with that, I think makes you more confident on the ice. So I think it was a really fun time. It's always awesome visiting all these different places and playing with the best girls in the country and in the nation. So
your hockey career kicked off early. You were on skates, legitimately skating at 1 year old. Your dad pulling a bucket in front of you and out from under you and picking you up every time you fell, making you continue to skate towards it. Neither of your parents played high-level hockey. What got your family so invested in the game?
yeah, so like you said, neither of my parents played, but my dad went to Clarkson. He played baseball here for a year. Honestly, was just a really smart engineer, so that's why he came here. But he fell in love with hockey, and their men's team was really good at the time. Their women's team wasn't around, but their men's team was making NCAA tournaments, so he was just really into it, a really big fan. So he just loved hockey, and then I have three older brothers, so when they were born, he just built a outdoor rink in the backyard and started from there. Started pushing the bucket.
At 4 years old, your destiny was set for the ice, according to the source, your mom. She was working at a gymnastics gym so that you could get discounted gymnastics lessons. At 4 years old, you told your mom you didn't need gymnastics anymore because you were a hockey player.
Yeah, that story is true. I've heard it so many times because my mom said she did not need to have that job at the gym and was only doing it for me. And apparently, I was not the biggest fan. But yeah, I just recently posted a picture on Instagram of me at 4 in Chile. So set foot in there early. So
I believe when I brought that story up the first time, you said it was embellished.
I mean, she probably did exaggerate a little bit, but as far as I know, most of it is true.
All three of your brothers reached the college hockey level. Casey played at Brockport, Ryan played at Bowdoin, Tommy played at Geneseo. We put a picture on the broadcast last year of you waiting for your brothers to come home from school, shooting pucks in the basement, not much older than the age that you were probably just fresh out of diapers or maybe still wearing them. Your brothers also have told me that you were frequently caught in the hallway getting yourself padded up. And again, at the age that most kids can't put pants on, but nonetheless hockey pads, and you were getting yourself fully geared up in full equipment. Talk about the inspiration each of your brothers had on you from that young age when you told your mom off of gymnastics.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was just it was super special growing up with three older brothers. They were huge inspirations to me and still are to this day. I definitely look up to them and everything they do. And like you said, they all made us to the collegiate level, which is super cool. I think It's really funny with four of us. I think me and Ryan, my middle one, are most similar just when it comes to like work ethic and desire and stuff. And Casey and Tommy, it kind of came pretty naturally for them, so they didn't almost have to put in as much work, and they were just always super good. So it's just always something I've looked up to. And yeah, I definitely remember just um playing in the yard with them, and I was always they called me the wink wink. So I didn't know what that meant at the time, but it meant I just didn't count in any game we played. But we'd be playing like kickball, wiffle ball on the rink, and Haley was always the wink wink. But I think I finally earned my spot in the game, so that's exciting. But yeah, I mean, I just remember the outdoor rink when I was little. I was waiting for my brothers to come out, and I got fully dressed and ended up like falling asleep on my floor in my full equipment for probably like an hour until they were ready to play. And I just have a lot of those memories growing up, and they were always willing to help me out and still are. So I'm super grateful for that.
Ryan told me about you being the wink wink as the only role they could put you in since you were too young to play, and then eventually you were beating all of the boys in whatever sport it was, whether it was wiffle ball or backyard hockey. You grew up playing with boys all the way through high school until you went to Bishop Kearney and had to transfer into the women's game. But it's pretty common in women's hockey that a lot of the top level girls play around the guys' game for a long time as you develop. How influential was that in your success, where we see you now dominating at the college level, and eventually you'll be just as dominant as you already are on the international level?
Yeah, it was definitely huge. Like you said, especially back then, it was really common for girls to play guys hockey, and it's pretty good nowadays, I think, for girls to be able to switch over to girls hockey sooner. But I think it was really influential for me, just getting to play with the guys. I played with the same group of guys for about 8 or 9 years, which is awesome. So super grateful for that. Super grateful for that group of guys and my coaches that I had. And then my last year of guys, I played checking, and I had my coach Francois Mathot, who's still my skills coach when I go back home, and he's been super influential on me. And definitely has helped me develop through the years. And again, I go home and skate with that same group of guys in the summer, so it's just been really cool to kind of grow up with them, and they've definitely pushed me to be the player I am. And it was kind of making that switch over to girls. It wasn't easy by any means. It was a change, and change is challenging, but I definitely had a good step, which allowed me to just kind of enjoy it, flourish, and kind of go after that dream.
I was told I need to mention the impact of Kiki on your career, your blankie that has traveled to the rink with you since 5U mites. Your parents tried to convince you to leave it behind in the car since you were on an all boys team, as we just talked about. They were worried you might get made fun of, but the blankie became a focal point in the locker room with the entire boys team calling it by name. Obviously, players at your caliber need to have high confidence. Where would you say that yours came from such a young age?
Um, yeah, honestly, like to be completely honest, that's something I struggled with growing up was confidence. I had trouble kind of differentiating the fine line between like confidence and cockiness, and that's something that I struggled with mentally. And I think um, I've gotten a lot better at it through the years, and like just being confident in my abilities. And that's also came from just my faith. I've been growing in my faith a lot through high school and through college. And I think through my faith, I've kind of become more confident in just the abilities and the skills that I have. And also just the training. I love what I like. I love hockey, obviously. So it's just training comes really easy for me. I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy going to the rink. I enjoy doing the extra things. So with that preparation also comes confidence. So I think just preparing through the years and putting in the extra work, but at the time didn't really feel like work. So yeah, I think that's definitely where the confidence came from.
Those who know you love of hockey is no shortage, and Haley's always the last one out on the rink, the first one to show up to go shoot extra pucks, and a record holder on the machine shooting that led to a little bit of a partnership for you.
Yeah, yeah, we have a nice rapid shot in our little hallway below the rink, and definitely an awesome ad. I can say I've definitely spent my fair share of time in there. So,
How many pucks was it? Over 10,000, right?
uh, yeah, I mean, my freshman year was like over like 35. thousand or something like after my freshman year, and then yeah, just keep adding on. But yeah, I got some super cool rapid shot gear that they sent me, so shout out to them.
Your dad's a Clarkson alum, as you mentioned. You followed in his steps going to Clarkson. We have that picture of you with Kiki and your brothers at Cheel. I'll put that one up here on the YouTube stream. When you were going through the recruitment process, obviously you'd been around Cheel Arena, but when you're looking through D1 programs, I'm sure you had your choice of just about anywhere that you would have wanted to go. What made Clarkson stand out as home to you?
Yeah, growing up, like when I was little, I Clarkson was always the dream. Actually, it was whatever goal sheet I had when I was younger. It was always play Division One hockey at Clarkson, and I definitely always wanted to come here. But then when it actually came time to decide, and I started going on visits, I realized there's a lot of schools out there and a lot of different aspects to it. So I definitely explored my options. I knew I wanted a smaller school. I'm not a huge city person, so that played a role in it. And honestly, just when I stepped on campus, it sounds cliche, but it felt like home. And honestly, it still does. I just love the small town feel. Our community is like a huge part of what defines us. We have so much support in our community, and it's just super special. Like you see people at a coffee shop, at the rink, whatever, working at school, and everyone kind of it gets behind you. So I think that's a huge selling part for me. Just a tight knit family community.
Do you have any pets at school?
Um, I'd like to say I have like part ownership in one of our coach's dogs.
Have you learned how to properly feed the animal?
Yes, I have, but you'd be surprised. This guy can get into anything, especially a fridge.
I'm told you were a culprit in a tragic pair of deaths trying to feed the fish without anybody knowing before you could reach the top of the tank and turned the entire fish tank into an all-you-can-eat fishy snow globe buffet that had a couple of casualties attached.
Yeah, I got blamed for that, but I'm still not convinced that was my fault.
Spin Chicklets talked about your presence on the ice last year during the Worlds in Utica, referring to you as the future of the United States program. They gave you as high praise of someday somebody who's going to be wearing the C. Talk about the national recognition, what that means to you. And obviously, you're a very humble player, but you've been recognized. It brought a lot of national attention as well to the Clarkson program as you play in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously super special to hear, but again, I'm just super grateful for this opportunity. And like I said, just growing in my faith, honestly, just using this platform to kind of point everything back to that. And honestly, just enjoy it and enjoy the moment. I mean, this sport's brought me so many, not only like quote accomplishments, but when you look back at it, you really just remember like the friendships, the bonds that you made, the places you were able to explore. And my family has been nothing but supportive of me. So them just being able to go to all these events, they were able to go. My whole family was at the past two world championships, so that was super special. And they seriously will travel the world for me. So I think just having them by my side, making these friendships, and then obviously accomplishing these dreams, it's been super fun, and just not taking it for granted.
I was lucky enough to be part of the Haley Winn fan club at Utica last year during the World Championships. You're from Rochester, New York. That was the first in quite a while that the U.S. has held, and obviously being so close to home, just a couple hours down I-90. Talk about how special it was there in Utica, having your whole family. It seemed like just about 25% of the rink in the USA fan section had number 8 or Winn on their backs, and a huge conglomeration that was around the VIP tent, everybody rooting for Haley Winn.
Yeah, it was so surreal. I mean, having the fact that it could have been anywhere in the world, it was in Utica, New York. That alone was crazy. And at first, you're kind of like, oh man, like I could have went anywhere in the world, and I'm in Utica, New York. But looking back, I mean, it was so special. Like you said, I had so much family there. My dad grew up about an hour and a half from Utica, so his whole side of the family still lives there. So I had cousins and aunts and uncles that I probably get to see once or twice a year, and they all came down to support me. They drove there and back every game, and it was just super, super special. And to be able to not only, like I've been saying, like accomplish that dream, but doing it with all those family and friends supporting me, it was so awesome.
The United States team is developed into a predominantly young group. Most current NCAA or recent grads, mostly out of the NCAA. How has that aspect helped in your transition to the big stage with a lot of players you're familiar with, either competing against within conference or within NCAA play, or players that you've grown up playing that are all around your age?
Yeah, definitely super cool. I think it just helps our team, kind of the mesh of our team. I think it doesn't really matter, obviously, the age once you get there, but it's nice to have the younger group that kind of gets along, but is able to kind of be with the older group. I think it helps our connection on and off the ice. So that's been super cool. And I played with a lot of those girls at U18s and in high school, actually. So just getting to kind of play with them through the years and build those connections on and off the ice. I was partners with Caroline Harvey in the most recent rivalry series, and I was the partners with her in high school too. So it's just super cool, small world, and everything kind of connects back to each other. And obviously getting to play with like Savannah Harmon, a Clarkson alum. I remember when I visited Clarkson in ninth grade, she was the one I talked to. She was the captain of Clarkson at the time. And at the time, she didn't know what she was going to do after college. She didn't know if she was going to continue playing hockey. And now we're on the national team together. So it's just super cool how the dots connect. And yeah, like I said, to have that young group of girls, it's just makes you feel more comfortable. And yeah, it's been awesome having them.
In your collegiate career, your teams have reached 3 straight NCAA tournaments in 3 postseasons that you've been with them, back-to-back ECAC tournament championship games, and last year you played in the Frozen Four. What have been the biggest learning points from those situations in your college career playing in some of those high-level, highest stage events?
Yeah, I mean, I think something that we talk about every year is you can't take a game off, obviously, not take a game for granted. I know last year we missed out on winning the ECAC regular season by half of a point. So that's obviously an overtime loss. So I think that's obviously been a huge learning point for me and for the team. It's just every single day, like we play in a league that can compete every day in and day out. So it's a super fun league to play in, and being able to compete every day, knowing that it's going to be a battle is awesome. And just kind of not taking those games for granted, no matter who you're playing. So that's been huge for me. And also my leadership, I think, is something that I've grown in the past few years, especially at Clarkson. So it's been cool to kind of take on that role and kind of bring others along with me and be able to take girls under my wing. That's been super special and something I take pride in. So that's been awesome.
Certainly full circle from dreaming of playing at Clarkson to being the captain of the Clarkson team. This is your last year of NCAA eligibility here as a senior. You'll be eligible for the 2025 PWHL draft if you choose to turn professional. The league took the world by storm last year. What are your current goals looking forward as we get closer to your final semester with the Golden Knights?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just trying to stay present because it goes so fast. I can't believe I'm going into my last semester. So obviously I have some big goals for this last season being a Golden Knight. I think obviously we have big goals of a postseason. You said we played in the past 2 ECAC championship games. Hopefully we can, the goal is to come out on top of that this year and obviously make a big postseason run. So I'm excited for that. And definitely the dream is to continue playing and make this my job for as long as I can. So excited for that. And obviously 2026 is the next Winter Olympics. So that's always in the plans and in the dream. So
That was going to be my next question. 2026 right on the horizon. Last year, there was some uncertainty on whether you were going to have a locked spot in the World Championship roster, and it seems like that has become a pretty steady path where you're becoming a big piece of that USA team, playing on the second power play throughout this rivalry series. For you, what is the path forward to solidify that spot in Italy?
yeah, I think just kind of going into every game again, like every game matters a ton. And that USA team only gets together so many times a year. So I think just making my most my time at Clarkson here, showing them that I can play at that level and then just earning my spot every time. I mean, no spot is obviously ever guaranteed. So making sure every time that I'm on the ice, every time that I'm with them, I'm kind of just earning that spot and showing them that I belong there and hopefully punching my ticket and just continuing to work for it.
I have the honor of watching it day in and day out as it comes to fruition. Haley, appreciate the time. Thank you so much for sitting down, and it was awesome hanging out with the parents. Your parents weren't there because they were watching your brother play, but the rest of the Golden Knights parents as you guys were playing, and they had it on the big screen down at the Elks Lodge last week. We'll see you this weekend, and congrats on a great career already. Appreciate the time here.
Awesome. Can't wait. Thanks, Casey.